Okay.
Got it.
Do you know I'm gonna post this on YouTube, right?
I know on your YouTube channel. Yeah, I saw it.
Okay.
Actually, that's why I had to get a fresh cut because I looked like a caveman. That's why I took a bit of time getting back to you. Like I had to proper, groom myself properly because I can't be out here looking like a caveman.
Welcome to Cat's World. Today I have an interesting guest. The fun fact is I've never actually spoken to Divine until today. I've spoken to him through my sister, so this is my first time actually meeting him. So everybody, welcome Divine. You want to?
Hey guys, what's up? Hey, I'm Divine Lanji. I am a database engineer at TAPSA, and yeah, I'm a graduate at the University of Pretoria. And yeah, hopefully I can give you some insight into the reason why Kat invited me here. So yeah, I'm honored to be on your show.
Thank you. Okay, before we start, I want to say anything you say or do will not be used against you in a court of law. Meaning, if you say something that you don't want in the video anymore, you just tell me and I edit it out. But if I post the video, then I can't remove it. Is that cool?
Okay, no, I get you, yeah.
Okay, so the first part of the video is going to be like your experience in university, and then the second part is going to be like the post-grad part of your life,
Okay, no problem.
So, when did you graduate?
I graduated in 2019. End of 2019. Yeah.
Or recently?
Anymore. Yeah, basically. So like 2 years ago. Yeah.
Okay. Did you get a golden key?
No, unfortunately not.
Did you need one?
Not really. It did not. To me, it did not matter.
Yeah, I get that. For me also, it doesn't matter. I feel like the main aim is passing. But like because I have a sister who has one, it's kind of pressure.
The pressure.
Yeah, there's pressure to get one, but I'm not there, I'm not thinking of that. So. Okay. Do you still talk to people you met in university?
Yeah, I do. I still have friendships from there. I mean, my best friend like two of my best friends I met at varsity. Basically day one of varsity. What? And we still are connected today. Yeah, base orientation day, day one, and today we're still best friends. Like, yeah, we still are talking to each other and everything.
That's nice.
So, yeah.
I feel like I haven't met people, and I don't think I'm gonna make best friends because for COVID, I've only been on campus for like a month, and I met people, but like not like lifelong friends type of people, So that sucks. I always wanted the experience.
No, I get you.
Yeah, you're talking about,
Yeah, no, that's true. I mean, yeah, no, that is very true. Like it is. COVID did ruin a lot of like experience, especially like with the first years, you know. And but to be honest, university was a good life. I mean, it was really nice. It's tough in terms of the schooling and everything, but then the social life is amazing, and the friends you meet, and you get betrayed. It's a whole Project X type of life.
Yeah.
Where you have you make good friends, you have bad friends. It's a whole experience, and I'm sorry you guys cannot experience what we experienced. The crying, the dramas, But I mean, not in like in halls. I mean, we get people where we have exams and people cry after exams, and you watch it like the hysteria and I mean the life, the campus life, that kind of how we could put a sting on that, which is not good. Yeah. So yeah, that's what I had to say.
Okay. How did you deal with failing modules?
Um, hmm. Failing modules, not tests, modules, right? The whole module.
Have you failed any modules?
Hey,
Have you
I
failed?
have, I have. I think I failed was it three modules or four? Four modules. I failed, no, three. Huh, forgot it. It's INF 154, accounting 111, um, and then what else? OBS 214. Yeah, so three modules.
So,
Well, no,
oh, sorry.
yeah.
Okay, we continue. I'll ask you after.
Okay, so yeah, so how do I deal with them? It's life. It happens. Like you said, you can't handle everything. You just come from like high school, and boom, you have all these modules that you're not used to, and the pressure, and it's a lot of work. So we have to focus on what we can focus on.
Yeah.
And then things like accounting and stuff, you have to always practice. When you find the time for it, and if you don't have passion for it, then you won't succeed. So yeah. So after failing, then you start prioritizing. You start yeah, basically. So I always took it with the I know I failed, but then I will improve the next time. So that kept me going. That kept my motivation going. Yeah,
So in second
that's.
year, did you, because you said
Mhm.
you had accounting and you had OBS, so you majored in both accounting and OBS.
No, OBS. I mean, accounting was triple one, right? So first
Oh,
year.
okay.
Yeah. OBS was the second year. I did take OBS as my elective. So I think that's where I met your sister, actually, in
Yeah.
OBS, but in first year. Yeah. So that's where we met. But yeah,
Wait,
yeah, that's basically. But OBS was cool.
so then if
Mm-hmm.
I don't, I'm so confused because now you said you failed three modules, and I know it's like a lot of our modules, a lot of them are cores. So did you graduate in record time or not?
No, I did not. No, I did not. Thing is,
Um,
with failing of 154, right?
mhm.
Like I said, like it's first year, so I did not know that we could do winter school. So in
Um,
my head, it was like, oh no, I'll do it next year.
mm,
So if I knew about winter school, I would have went to winter school and did winter school and actually passed.
yeah.
But because of the fact that I did not know about winter school, therefore I had to repeat the whole 154 in second year. So in terms of my core modules, it kind of
Pushed them back.
because remember, question back, because with 154 you can't do 164, which is then prerequisited for
Yeah.
like your second year coding modules,
Mm,
and that kind of like pushed me back. Yeah. So, but yeah, but I mean, I made it. You guys
yeah.
grace.
Good for you.
Mm. Thank you.
Okay, wait.
But I
So
think
now,
it's always about learning afterwards.
yeah, yeah. So then if you fail the INF 154, which for those who don't know, that's a module where we do coding. And I know in first year it was C sharp and HTML stuff. So do you think the coding was the hardest part of the degree for you, or was
No,
it?
actually,
It wasn't.
to be honest, remember, okay, so I came from high school, right?
Mhm.
To be honest with you, in my mind, I wanted to do engineering, right?
Okay.
So when I landed in informatics, it was actually my second option because you know how tax is, right?
Mm.
So I missed engineering by one APS and they did not
Oh no.
allow me in.
Mm.
So they were
Yeah.
like, no, you gotta take your second. So yeah, so now when you do your second um plan B or option B, you're not that motivated, as you were with your first option, right?
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, cool, let me do this then, whatever it is. Then I started doing coding, and this was the first time I actually started coding in my life. I've never done coding in high school. So
Oh,
like the
okay.
first time I ever actually touched coding, yeah. But I was good at computers, but not coding, right?
Mm.
So, So I was thinking, my mentality was I was still in high school type of mentality. Oh, the work they give you in class, you don't have to do it. It's not like they mark it and it's, part of your assessment or anything. And until later, I realized when it was a bit too late that everything you do in class or every assessment you do counts marks,
Yeah.
So by that time, it was already like, 6 lessons in, and I did not do any homework or anything because, like I said, I hardly even attended classes because I think I went to like 2 classes, and then I was like, "Oh, coding is easy. What am I doing here?" I mean, like we did Hello World,
Yeah.
So like Hello World,
The easy parts.
Hello World, okay?
The easy parts.
Exactly. So I was like, this is easy thing. If I'm gonna do this the whole time for coding, why am I gonna come? So I
Yeah.
did not come to class for like the next 4 or 5 lessons. And later on when I realized when people were telling me, oh no, these stuff actually count for marks, I was like, what the hell? So then I was like, okay, I have to start focusing now. Then I started attending classes. And yeah, but it was a bit too late in terms of like learning. So when it came to I mean, like that part, I mean, the exams, and I made it to exams, thank God. But then when I got into exams, I got into subs, the supplementary, and that's where I failed. I failed in the supplementary. So, but still, I was coding without it. I was like, Jesus, take the wheel. I don't know what I'm doing. I had not been attending classes. So I was like, code what you can code. But I failed my class test, like horrible. But then, I mean, like from failing first year to getting a B in an advanced programming in final year, that showed that, the improvement in code and, the improvement in the fact that I wanted to learn and I wanted to get that done. So yeah, I mean, in final year for 354, I got a 70%. So I mean, like I say, from failing first year to getting a 70 in advanced programming in final year, like so I still hate coding though, but I had to, I had to finesse it.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I get that. I did IT in high school, so I've been coding since grade 10 until now, and I still find coding so difficult. And the part where you have to learn a new language and then take on all the learning the functions, learning the classes of that new language, going to a new platform. I feel like I'm out of control, and I find it a bit difficult sometimes.
Yeah. No, it is. I mean, I understand where you're coming from. It is, but like I said, you have Uncle Google out there.
Yeah.
Google is there for you. I mean, to be honest, the reason why I failed because I did not understand how to use Google. Right. So when it comes to programming and coding, Google is literally your best friend. Google and those Indian people on YouTube, those Indian guys.
Yeah, I do.
The guys from India. Those guys are your best friend. Like when it comes to coding and programming, they help you pass. Without them, I wouldn't have been here, to be honest. Like those guys literally helped me a lot. But also another thing, when it comes to program, we didn't do the same. You guys' curriculum kind of changed. Okay, so when we started with it, we had we did C# but console, so the black and white screen. Right, we didn't have all these visuals and stuff. We didn't do so we did C# but in console, and then after that we had C# and Visual Studios. When you guys now see your like your forms and stuff, Visual Studio Code. I mean Visual Studio Forms, So we did the forms afterwards, but then with also we had WinForms. WinForms, right? Windows Forms, basically. So that's what we did. But then I think you guys had a different curriculum to us. Because like I said, with the console is black and white. So coming from high school, seeing code in black and white, you're like, damn, I'm about to hack the US government out here. So but that's basically my coding life.
I never did the console. We only did Windows Forms.
Yeah, because like I said, they removed console because it's kind of outdated in a sense that why you guys have to learn console as nobody uses it in the industry anymore. So you guys they removed it from your curriculum. So it is different.
Okay. I feel like that would make me feel badass though, but like I'm a character in Mr. Robot or Hacker, But yeah, miss my chance.
But it was boring. I mean, trust me. I mean, it's black and white the whole time. I mean, we had to create a game, right, in console, and it was bad. Like it looked so outdated. I'm like, no.
Yeah, okay, I get that.
Bad.
Okay, what do you do now?
Now I am a database. It's a long title. It's a database DevOps engineer, right?
Okay.
So you're actually a database DevOps full stack engineer. So basically, you want me to explain what I do, or you want to know my title? What I do. So I work at APSA Group. I don't work at a branch. I work at the actual the actual headquarters. Yeah, the people in the background that makes things work.
Yeah.
So I am. So I'm a C. I mean, I'm a SQL, right? Microsoft SQL. You guys are probably doing in 361. Yeah. So I am the engineer for that, but on both cloud platform and on premises for SQL. So basically, I'm a database. Like I said, database engineer. Database is a housing that houses data, right? So now we take care of that data, right, and make sure that the bank gets the data. So whatever you guys see and display and everything, it's because of us. Like application cannot do what they do without us. They store their data through us, so we have to make sure that data is protected, it's secured, it works as as needed. And yeah, so that's what I do. And so I'm a full stack. That's where the full stack comes in. Full stack means that I manage not just the SQL server itself, but as well as the virtual machine and the server. Right. So now we have that. So now we build the machines and stuff on the cloud, or they want to migrate, then we help them migrate to the cloud. So we basically right now we currently on a project where we are migrating the whole of I'm part of that project where we're migrating the whole of the bank's infrastructure to the cloud. So yeah, so that's what I do basically. I don't know if you got any of that, but
I did. I actually heard about what you do when you told Yolanda when, let's say, you had like an event happening at work, and then you guys were working during the weekend, and then you told her what you do, and I was so interested in that because like now I absolutely love like the database work and stuff like that. And when you spoke about it, I was like, I think I can do this. Like this is what I never thought of doing, but this is actually so interesting. So because we are talking about like jobs now, I want to know how did you have to do a technical interview for that job?
To be honest, I was hooked. Connections.
Yeah.
So yeah, basically connections. I actually did not do any interview, to be honest.
Wow.
So I have a very complicated story on how I got to ABSA, right? It's a very complicated story, but so basically there's a cloud computing cloud computing company, right, that I know of, that was started by a good family friend of mine. As soon as I finished school, she basically got me into the whole cloud computing. She asked me to join a company and that I'll be mentored and trained in the whole cloud computing space, right? Because I didn't know about cloud computing, and her clients that she works with, like all these major banks, they wanted people with certifications, right? Consultants with certification. So basically, I got into the company. The company is called Vexawave Group. So I got in there, and they helped me out in terms of my training and they got one of their contracting company, right, to like assist me in the whole, like, because they couldn't do it on their own. Remember, like I said, they're just a strategic company that on a business side, they're not technical, right? So they got the technical guys which is smaller companies underneath them, to then take me on and help me in that, train me up, all that stuff. So I was working for this company called Alpha Innovate, and they trained me up. And so they're working on a project at NetBank, right? They were actually doing also their cloud strategy and, cloud infrastructure and all that stuff at NetBank. So I was also part of that group and learned a lot from there. And I did my certification for Microsoft, in AWS and in the cloud computing. So I have my Microsoft what do you call it? So I just forgot my Microsoft Solutions Architect Professional, which is the highest certification you can get, right? So first you start off little. It's like a building block, from grade 1. So you start off with your practitioner, then you do your next exam, So every exam you do, you get a certification. Yeah, and it was hard. I failed 3 times,
Wow.
On the third try, twice. On the third try, I got it, so that's how tough it was.
Wait, so you did this thing where?
So the certifications, you can do it online, right? But then there's training courses for that. So you can go to Udemy, you can use A Cloud Guru, Wiz Labs, and also Microsoft itself and AWS. So they train you, like you do your classes and stuff. You learn how to use the cloud platforms. You learn how to do this and this and that. Remember, there's many certifications in what you want to do, right? So there's many certifications, and each certification has its own courses, and so basically, depending on you, on where you want to focus on and where you want to go, that will basically then assist you in selecting your certifications that you want to do.
Yeah.
So after that, so then I wrote my exams, these are all online, organized by Microsoft and everything. Got my certifications, and these are Microsoft issued certifications.
Okay.
Right. And so once I've got my certifications, 10 days later, not even 10 days, like a week later, I got a call from the company's CEO, right, saying that they have set up a meeting or something with ABSA, right? Because, so they've set up a meeting with ABSA, with the HOD of the Department of Database as a Service, right? That's the department in ABSA. So then set up a meeting with the HOD. And so basically it was not even a meeting. They already did everything for me, in a sense that they spoke to ABSA for me. They got ABSA to like me and want me there. And so basically that meeting was just, like I said, an introduction. I did not have an interview. There's the thing of, hey, Divine, like, they can finally put a name to a face kind of thing. Be like, oh, this is the guy we told you about. Here is the guy from Max to Wave to ABSA. This is the guy we told you about. He'll be working with you guys, getting a bit of experience. After the 3 months trial, right? Then you guys can do whatever you want with it. Through connections. But also through hard work.
Did you want to do the database work, or were you interested in like something else?
No, that was actually my the ultimate. To be honest, when I was in UP, right, I actually wanted to get into honors and do data science or data engineering, right? But then with how tax is, unfortunately, I did not make it into the honors program for informatics. But it looks like God had other plans for me. So my ultimate dream was to be doing something about data, to do anything with data. Like, I didn't want to go into development. So thank God I went into data. And like I said, God had a plan for me. So he knows, the fact that I love data and I want to work with data. And he then put me into data, so databases, I love databases since Tuck. I've always had distinctions for my database courses, from Tuck. So yeah, I've always loved databases itself. So when it was what I kind of wanted. But yeah, but now I'm actually my next focus in my career is to become a full-on cloud DevOps engineer. That is what I'm actually working towards, and I already have mentors in the bank itself a mentor for AWS engineering, and then another mentor from Azure engineering to just guide me and hold my hand, while I get to my career path. So I'm aiming for the next year or two to start moving into that type of role as a cloud DevOps engineer at the bank. So yeah,
So you graduated UP and then you did the online courses and then that's how you got your job at Upster.
yes, that's how I got my job at Upster.
Okay, so now you're actually doing the work, because now, my biggest fear is what I'm doing in university is going to be so different from what I'm doing in the field, like what I'm expected to know. So is there a huge gap between what you were taught and what you are actually doing?
To be honest, yes, in a sense. Because like hence why there's always, graduate program or internship, that learnership program. They don't just get you, pluck you from university and put you straight into the job, because you need to have that transition, right? You need to learn and all that. To be honest, university is more of a foundation phase, like a foundation you build, like so you understand that okay, this exists, this technology exists. You know about, like I said, databases, you know about them, but you don't use them to, to the best or to its full potential at university, right? So, like now, you know about databases, right? You're doing them, right? You're probably only doing 0.5% of what you'll do in your actual workplace if you go into that department. Like I'm doing way more than what I did in university with, when it comes to databases. Like I only knew how to create a table, drop a table, that's it.
Yeah.
Like how to create the tables, how to create your ID, your keys, your primary keys, and how to delete the table. In terms of,
like when you realize that, wow, you basically only did 5% of what was possible. Were you not intimidated, like, oh my gosh, I don't know what I'm doing, I don't know how to do what they want me to do,
No, that is true. I mean, they did understand that I came from university and I was a graduate. So in my first month or month and a half, they allocated me a mentor, right? Wow. So the mentor basically, so he then basically taught me the job itself, but not everything. He taught me the basics of what you do here and there. And then everything I had to learn on the go, literally just trial and error. Like it was, and most of the time it was literally leaving this in God's hand. Jesus, take the wheel. I don't know what I'm doing. Like most of the time, to be honest. Like even now, I still don't know what I'm doing most of the time. So so it's a thing of trusting that that your higher power takes over. To like take over because I don't know what I'm doing.